see. I'm just trying to add a simple toolbar, right? Simple, it should be very straightforward. But in the process, I'm also trying to work towards a sort of a more generic system for defining user interfaces, and not for defining them, but for mapping user interface stuff to, I don't know exactly where it's going, to commands. What we really need here is some sort of vector of callbacks to functions or something that are members. But then these names should actually be the same as the function names. I mean, why create confusion by having two different naming? I mean, first of all, yeah, why create confusion by having two different naming standards? You know, you've got your member functions with uppercase here, and then, not that, that's ID. I mean, like a member function like that, but then, why not then just give it the same name, first of all, just to keep things simple and safe. Secondly, I did some similar stuff in the problem with the callbacks is it's a bit of a mission, because we could have arbitrary functions, so you need to have some mapping. You've got a vector of variants, especially, they could be any type, and you want to pass that then to a C++ function. So I mean, the Lua scripting, for the Lua scripting integration, that's solved in a bit of a way that doesn't actually solve it. It's there's a special program that, and it's almost like we need something similar. There's a special little program you run as a pre-built step that runs over your source code and builds a special header file and binders, like special binding functions. So it's a big, like, auto-generated, algorithmically generated header for the dev idea. Just another dev idea. Python integration question mark. Now I can't remember where, somewhere in the monkey stuff, I started doing something similar, but it felt very clunky. I didn't like it, but it kind of worked. I had a few helpers. This is really ugly, but like an action function doer thing. I can't even remember how it worked, but there were mapping. It looks like it used boost bind. Yeah, I had add action. How did this work even? It's the same principle as what I want to do, but the fact that all this code is so ugly, it makes me wonder that it's not really the right way to go. Something about this Oh, there you go. So it maps like an ID, which in our case we could use a name or whatever, to a callback, and I think that one is, oh, that's the weight. And those callbacks, I swear I did more, like they were, this was quite long ago now, so I don't remember exactly how it worked. I mean, it's easy to create a callback, right, in principle. What's not easy, I could just say, yeah, callback for this type or that type of function signature. That's not a problem. I mean, I could easily have an array of callbacks. The problem is, I can't easily have an array of callbacks with arbitrary parameters. And return values. So that is a different, slightly different ball game. Okay, C00 takes 0 parameters. So C0 I think is class 0, a class member that takes 0 parameters. So there's a bunch of different helper binders for, but at the end of the day it's generating 4 lines of code for each of these. It's a lot. You're going to have hundreds of lines of this clunky register command handler, and each one will look slightly different depending on, you know, how many, depending on the function signature. Because you don't want your class members to be like taking an array of parameters. That's well done.